Welcome to the Menowave Lounge, where the journey through menopause becomes an exhilarating ride. We are your hosts, Marti, Daly, and Robin Duke. As Menowave care providers, we're here to create a warm and welcoming space where we can talk openly about the ups, downs, and everything in between when it comes to navigating the menowave of menopause. In the Menowave Lounge, we'll dive deep into all things menopause, offering valuable insights and shedding light on those topics that are often mysterious and confusing. Whether you're in the midst of those sizzling hot flashes or just looking for some cool conversations and expert advice, this is the show for you. Join us in our team of expert care providers, from health professionals to holistic practitioners to coaches, as we explore the transformative journey of menopause together. We know that during this stage of life, there are plenty of questions, concerns, and experiences that can feel very overwhelming. And the lack of women who actually want to talk about it can feel very lonely. But fear not. We're here to provide the support you need as we all ride the Menowave together. Each episode will be joined by a variety of inspiring Menowave care providers who have walked this path as well, sharing their voices and offering valuable advice. So don't miss out on the laughter, the tears, and the camaraderie. Tune in now and let's ride this wave together. Welcome to the Menowave Lounge, hot flashes and cool conversations.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Menowave Lounge, hot flashes and cool conversation. I'm Robin Duke, and this is Marti Daly, and we are excited today. We have the founders of the Menowave ladies started this amazing group. And I'm going to let Marti tell you a little bit more about her. And I want to jump right in and have you meet these two ladies, Gwen and Tina. Changed my life. I know they're going to change yours.
Thank you, Robin and Gwen, Tina. It is so amazing to have you on. What Robin hasn't mentioned yet is that this is our premiere episode of the Menowave Lounge podcast. So we're delighted to have you here as our founders. I want to do a quick introduction. We have Gwen Harris and Tina McDermott. They are the co-founders of Menowave and Menowave Cruises. Menowave is an integrated care model for women in menopause and beyond. Their mission is to inspire women to cruise the menowave with grace, gratitude, confidence, and ease. Menowave Cruises offer educational seminars at sea for women to enable them to cruise the menowave successfully. They're also the admins for the Menopause Support Group on Facebook that has now 133,000 members in over 120 countries around the world, and it continues to grow by hundreds every day since being featured on Good Morning America in 2018. Again, we're so excited to have you both, Gwen and Tina. I want to start out with telling us a little bit more about who you are, why you're here. Tell us about the groups. I'm going to let you go.
Ryan, it's all you. You get started.
Well, let's get started here. While we're doing that, someone's mowing in my backyard. So that just makes this whole thing real. At least my yard will look good. Anyway, 10 years ago, I went into menopause with some of the most brutal symptoms that I could imagine. And I was under the care of a female naturopath doing everything she was telling me to do. I'm also a health nut. And I was actually kind of shocked that I was experiencing such severe symptoms. And so out of my own need, because I actually felt lonely and I felt no one else could be suffering like this, I decided to start a support group on Facebook. And I started the Menopause Support Group back in 2013. The group actually grew organically by itself from 2013 to 2018 to 11,000 members. Then in 2018, something pretty crazy happened. I got a message on my messenger in Facebook. And the message said, this was in January 2018. It said, "Hey, Gwen, my name is Jen Leung. I am one of the producers for Good Morning America." And she said, "We want to be trendsetters in starting the conversation about menopause." And she said, "These days we seek a lot of our content on social media. So we went to Facebook and saw that you have the largest menopause support group there. So we would actually like to chat with you and potentially feature you on our show." Well, obviously, at first I thought, yeah, right. Okay. But she did have her facts correct. And so I reached back out to her. And 2 days later, we made arrangements for me to call her. And I did. And when I did, I called Good Morning America and they answered the phone, ABC News New York. How can I help you? And I said, "May I please speak to Jen Leung?" And they passed me through to Jen. And in fact, this was the real deal. And I was featured on Good Morning America with the Menopause Support Group in January of 2018. Well, things exploded. And as I said, the first 5 years, the group grew organically by itself to 11,000 members. In the last 5 years, we have grown from 11,000 members to 133,300 members as of today. And we are in 120 countries all over the world, really supporting and helping women in menopause. Well, as this whole thing was exploding in 2018, women started reaching out to me saying, Gwen, we need to get together, plan a convention, have a party, do something fun, because girls love to get together. And I thought to myself, gosh, even if I planned a convention, that still wouldn't accommodate everybody since we're all over the world. And so I came up with this idea to start my own cruise company. And I thought we can do cruises and do cruises around the world. And that's what we started to do. And it was amazing. So I booked the first cruise. And after I did, it hit me. And I thought, what the heck are you doing? You're not an expert in anything. You need help, because my intention was to have our own private events on board the ship. And like I said, all I was a girl in menopause. I'm not an expert at anything. So I got a team of women together who are our menopause sisters that were in my group. And we formed what was called at the time the Council of Experts. And we started taking cruises. And Tina was actually one of these women that actually reached out to me back in 2018. Because what I did was I put a post in the menopause support group telling what my intentions were and said, if you are a professional and you serve women and you want to care for women, reach out to me. This is what we're going to do. So Tina, why don't you tell them what really inspired you to call?
You know, I'm going to flip this one. And first of all, a couple of things. You started this group because you needed support. And look at the effect that you have had or you are having on 132,000 and growing women around the world. It's freaking amazing. It's freaking amazing. And I had, I was so nervous and I had this interview with you and I just like, oh my gosh, I love this woman. I hope she loved me. I was so nervous. And when I say I wanted to flip it, it all started because I wanted to know, how can my mission is very clear. My sister passed away from breast cancer, and I want to help as many women in this world feel great about themselves. I'm a weight loss coach, right? And I wanted to build a fishing pond. I'm like, okay, this is a great fishing pond. And it is, right? Of how I can help fulfill my mission. And I want to tell the world, Gwen, that I got so much more. I'm going to cry. I got a best friend, and that's you. As well as now we're on 30-some wonderful care providers who are helping us wrap their arms around the world of women in menopause. And I am literally crying in tears right now how much joy I feel about our mission and what we are doing with Menowave and the menopause support group. That's my mission. It's my mission to help women literally feel great about themselves. I'm going to take an aside and I'm going to tell you what happened on my walk the other day. It was yesterday morning, actually. Don't sit still and meditate. I walk and things happen and things come to me, right? When I'm relaxed, I'm walking with my dogs, and my sister passed away. 17th of October will be, I think, 11 or 12 years. I have to calculate. She passed away from breast cancer, as I had mentioned. And I'm going to around, but just got back from Italy and got a big lunch coming up. There's a lot of things going on in my life, right? And we've got all these cruises booked for next year. And I run two businesses. Well, of course, with the help of Gwen with Menowave. And Anna came to me and she says, Tina, you're helping me fulfill our mission. And she said it just like that, our mission. And that's to help as many people in this world feel great about themselves. And she was a beautician. She did it a different way. She did it with helping people look beautiful. Not only that, she knew the benefits of touch, and she also knew the benefits of talk therapy, because that's who she was. The most beautiful woman you will ever meet. So I'm going to get emotional again. And so that's what Menowave is to me. It's the mission. And thank you for all of Marti, you and Robin, and spearheading this podcast so that we can fulfill our mission, our mission. It's our mission. So thank you.
I wanted to go back and just kind of fill in a little bit of a gap here. So when Tina reached out to me, that was 2018, and we had another whole team of women, and we started taking our cruises and having a wonderful time under the guise of the menopause support group. Well, in 2020, we had 4 cruises planned, and all of us know what happened in 2020. Unfortunately, we were only able to take our first cruise, which was in March, and literally the world closed down while we were away. And the rest of the cruises were canceled, and I was obviously discouraged because this was something amazing that was happening. We even wrote a book together with our council of experts, a resource guide for menopause. It's on Amazon. We had a whole bunch of stuff we were doing, and it just seemed like things were coming to an ugly halt. I don't happen to be one of those women that stay down forever, though. And I have a feeling that probably the majority of people that are going to be listening to this podcast are the same way. Because when you get to be our age in life, you have been through the school of hard knocks a little bit and you just don't give up. So I started thinking about, and everyone is connecting virtually these days. Everybody's online these days. The world is communicating through computers. And I thought to myself, too, seems like I often hear of Mark Zuckerberg being in court, fighting for different things or defending himself. And there were threats to close down Facebook. And I thought, if that happens, there goes the menopause support group. How can we still support women if the Facebook group goes away? So these thoughts started coming to my mind as we're sitting back, distancing ourselves from everybody. COVID had me thinking about all kinds of different things. And I started sharing some of my thoughts with Tina because we developed this very trusted, close relationship since 2018. And I knew I could trust her and just started thinking about all these things. I'm thinking about developing something that was online, a way that would be away from Facebook, but still support women virtually online. And over the course of, COVID, about a year or so, things continued to come to me. And I shared them with Tina and said, I really think we should go this route. I don't know how I'll do it. I have no concept of how we'll do this. And then I'll never forget the day that the name Menowave came to me, keeping in mind the concept of cruising because we cruise, the Menowave and menopause, of course, too. And I shared that with her and she goes, you know what, Gwen, you've got something here. I said, well, are you ready to put your money where your mouth is and join me on this venture? And she said, yes, obviously. And we did. So Menowave is a support system for the menopause support group on Facebook. But if the Facebook group goes away, we still have Menowave. And when we formed Menowave, got it off the ground, and women from around the world, who we now call our care providers, and of course, Robin and Marti are both 2 of our care providers, have joined our team to do exactly what Tina said, wrap our arms around these women around the world and care for them, because this midlife journey really has its challenges at times. And we are back in the cruise business again. And so we just got back from Alaska. It was amazing. And next year we have 2 cruises planned and we're taking it away. And this is a very, very exciting thing that we have going on, because when you have women from around the world, which I do, reach out and say, oh my gosh, thank you for the work you're doing. Women from Cambodia, Bangladesh, Mongolia, Africa, all around the world. Can I tell you something? That is a gift that keeps on giving.
Wow. So that is so amazing. Oh my gosh, Gwen, what a great story. We are so blessed to be a part of this group and a part of the mission and wrapping our arms around all these wonderful women all around the world. And before I lose this thought, can you tell us about the next 2 cruises that are coming up and where they're going to be? Because I'm going to be on at least one of them.
Well, we'd love to have you on both of them because we need care providers to host our private events. But yes, our cruises the first one is going to be in June. We're up for 12 days. We're cruising through the Mediterranean, flying into Barcelona, Spain on June 1st, and then cruising to Athens and the Mediterranean in between. And then the end of October into the beginning of November, we're cruising out of Fort Lauderdale down to the Southern Caribbean into Costa Rica and Panama. And so, as I said, our care providers are the ones we host our private events on board the ship. Women will leave with their own personalized roadmap to menopause through a workbook that they complete on board. And not only that, the friendships you make and the memories you make and the fun times. You don't really know people till you've traveled together. And Tina and I nailed it.
Yes.
But those are the cruises. You can find out about the cruises by going to menowavecruises.com, menowavecruises.com. Everything is on there. And we're just excited for everybody to join us. And we intend to fill these cruise ships because there's women all over the world that need what we have and our friendship too.
Absolutely. And I want to fill in a couple of gaps with these cruise ships. Literally, we want the entire cruise ship to be full of Menowave women, right? And only we're calling them seminars at sea because not only do you get the amazing cruise and all of the ports of call and all of those excursions, you're also going to be with a group of like-minded women who are here to love and support you and be your sisters. Well, they are your sisters. And community. We need community. And during the Doors at Sea, we are going to have seminars. You are going to have seminars from amazing, very well-educated women, doctors, nurses, coaches, and the care providers we have on board. They are going to be teaching you who join our cruises for free how you can cruise the Menowave, answer all of your questions, and you're going to come away with a wealth of information, and it's not going to cost you a penny more than the cruise itself. Amazing.
I know, and it's a wonderful. And also, too, you actually get to customize your own plan. And so and that's because there's no one size fits all kind of answer for everybody's individual menopause. And so as these wonderful ladies are talking and through the seminar, you get to decide what is good for you and what isn't. And you walk away with a plan that's designed just for you. That's awesome. Well, I'd like to say thanks to Robin. She's the one that came up with, she's spearheading this workbook project, and she's an expert at that. And we thank you for stepping up, Robin. You're welcome.
Are these cruises just for women only, or can you bring your spouse, your partner, or is it just for women?
That is a great question. No, it's for everybody. We've had a lot of men go on our cruises, and guess what? They end up learning something. Now, these men join us in most of our events if they want them. And actually they do because, they love their spouses, they love their partners. But the nights that we have intimate conversations and things like that, they may not join because we wanted to be space where women feel free to share. And so, to have someone else's spouse, their husband there, women would not feel free. But the things that would pertain to men or informative, we certainly do invite men.
And I think that's so important that people know that, because so many questions I see in the group is, I wish my husband could know this stuff. I wish there was a way that they could understand, or, none of the men in my life understand this. So I think that's awesome that, hey, come along and learn as much as you can where appropriate, and then go and have fun while we women have that community, which is so lacking, especially post lockdowns and COVID. I've noticed in my life, moving further and further away from those actual friendships and with other women, and even coming together in this support group has been just so phenomenal for me. But then even becoming a part of being a care provider and getting to know all the care providers, especially you three here, and it builds on itself. And I love to see out on in the group, seeing women supporting one another and kindly and lovingly and getting perspectives. And I love, especially with there's 120 countries, a lot of different cultures, getting some perspectives from people who are different than we are. So well done. Quick question that I had is kind of going to the Facebook group, if you don't mind. It's 133,000. And I don't think a lot of women understand what that's like. We can't even imagine that. I'm sure that when you started the group, you didn't know what it would come into. What's it like moderating a group that is so important and so powerful and so large?
Yes, please share.
Well, that's a good one because Gwen is an angel. That's all I have to say. And she's teaching me so much. So Gwen, you take this one away, girlfriend.
Well, I can say when I started this, I just thought it'd be a little support group. And the reason I started it, like I said, was to find out if I'm alone in the journey that I'm on. And clearly I found out that I'm not. As the group has exploded, there were many times that I wanted to quit. I'll just say that. There were many times I wanted to quit. I don't happen to be a quitter. And so what is great, one thing that is very great about Facebook is when you have a large group, they actually have a lot of tools in place that enable you to manage a large group. Tina and I are very committed in our group to making sure that it's a group of integrity. And so in doing that, there's a lot of things that are not allowed. We want it to be a judgment-free zone where no one feels prospected for any reason, where no one is bullied for any reason, and where you can share openly about what you're going through. I get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of notifications every day that are sent to me by women that violate our rules, or we have a big filter systems in place so that if they use certain words, we get notified and you handle it. And I would say every single day, it's a part-time job managing the group, but we're passionate about our commitment to make sure that this is a place of integrity. And so in taking the time to manage this group and making sure that it's out where it's supposed to be, I do derive a lot of joy from it most of the time because I know that I'm keeping it safe there. I'm glad the tools are in place that help us because it would be pretty impossible. But women can come there. Women can know that they're going to be safe. Women can know that they are going to be cared for. And just to put it out there, people are not allowed to go in there and prospect them for sales and all that kind of stuff. The only people that offer care are our care providers. And our care providers are women that really care, that are there for you, that what they offer through their services are to benefit you and to really help you cruise the Menowave with grace, gratitude, confidence, and ease. And that's what it's all about. That's a good question.
We appreciate that so much because I came into the group probably a good year or so before I actually became a care provider. And that's the feeling I got, was that it was such a safe place. It is such that you could feel the care there, and you don't let just anybody become a care provider. I reached out to you several months before you were ready to accept more care providers. And it was so gracious. I thought that was really cool because it's like, okay, because there's a vetting process. And I love that. I feel like everybody in the group should just really get that feeling that there is so much care and so much work behind the scenes and so much love and integrity. And you both care so much and you can feel it. And I just want to emphasize that because we have new women joining every day. And I really feel it's important that everybody understands, hey, this is a big labor of love. And there's a lot of responsibility behind it, and it shows. And so thank you so much, both of you, for this amazing space.
Thank you, Marti. Thank you. And I want to chime in here with how committed Gwen Harris is. She is on a date with her husband, chasing waterfalls and dealing with I think it was a catastrophe that day of some sort. It wasn't really a catastrophe. I'm just making things up. But it was a challenging situation that we get hit with sometimes. And I'm like, can you just turn it off? And she can't. She's so committed that she cannot turn it off and had to deal with it amongst a gorgeous day with her husband. So you're wonderful, Gwen. I love you.
We love you, Gwen. So thank you guys. Appreciate it so much. No, it is our passion because I have to say, I'm 10 years into this menopause journey and it has not lightened up for me at all. And I told my husband, I've told some other people, I think the good Lord has allowed me to continue on this journey because of what I'm called to do now. And so if I was through it all and not having any more symptoms, I might not be so passionate because, it'd be something in my past. But I deal with it every day. And so I totally get it. And it is a passion because I remember, I will never forget the day I started the menopause support group. I felt like I was in the abyss of menopause and I felt scared. And as I said, I take very good care of myself. I'm a health nut. I exercise a lot. I do everything that I'm supposed to do. My vices are beer, wine, and chicken wings. I think other than that, I'm a real good girl. I'm taking care of myself. And so I thought to myself, here I am taking really good care of myself and really suffering. And so I get it. And that's why we are very passionate. Like I said, in our newsletters, I get a lot of response from women all around the world thanking me for the work that we do. Can I tell you something? There's nothing better. There's nothing better. Yeah, it's just
that's a great reward to know that you're really making a difference in the world today for women. I wanted two things I wanted to talk about was one, you started a second group, a VIP group. if you would talk a little bit about that. And then also, too, some of the resources that you have on your website for women, the assessments. Can you talk about those two things?
I'll take that on, Gwen. And so, what Jen was talking about earlier with what happens when Facebook shuts down, if it does. I'm going to say when, it's an if, okay? So we decided to start a VIP group. The VIP group, women must offer their email address, and we send them a weekly, sometimes bi-weekly newsletter, of course, all education about menopause. And in that group, the VIP group is strictly for education. You go there, all of our care providers are in that group offering education. It's not a place for women to vent. It's a place of connection and a place of education. So that's the reason why we created the VIP group. And we send out these wonderful newsletters, which is all educational. And each of the care providers sometimes write them, sometimes Gwen and I write them, and really, really top-notch information from us on that. So that's what the VIP group is all about. And it's also a place where we do challenges and meetups, and we do them in the big group as well. Okay, we do them in the big group as well, but it's just strictly education. Beyond that piece, and I'm glad that you mentioned this, Robin, is assessment. What is an assessment? So a woman is going through a plethora of issues as we're going through menopause, and it's kind of scary. We don't know where to start. So what Gwen and I put together is a very comprehensive assessment, lots and lots of questions to kind of help the person just kind of, first of all, dump out what's going on with them. And when they submitted, our care providers, vetted professional women, look at these assessments and say, okay, that is a person that I think Coach Robin can help, or that is a person that I can help. And then we reach out to them and see how we can support them, knowing what their stressors are and what they need help with, right? So those are our assessments. We get lots and lots of assessments on a daily basis from our women when they join, women who are still a part of our group or have been a part of our group for a long time. And it's one of our tools to help people.
I love that because there's not a lot of places that women can go to. Everyone feels safe and connected and apart, but also really connect with the care providers that really do care, give professional person that can give them the best, honest support, encouragement, whatever it is that they need. They can come to us and feel safe in talking about it.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to note here about the assessment because there is personal information that is put on this assessment. As Tina said, it's a very, very in-depth health assessment. So the way that the whole model works is when women join the menopause support group, and we have hundreds that join every day, they are welcomed. Each of them are welcome to the group. They're tagged to the welcome. And then we invite them to go to Menowave, which Menowave is our integrated online care model, like we said, that supports the menopause support group. These new women every day are invited to go to Menowave and fill out the assessment. When they fill out the assessment, it is deposited into an automated archive, which is in our website, at the menowave.org website. No one can access that information except our vetted care providers. So this information is not out there for everybody. It is secure in our automated website. So any information that you give, you can be assured it's held in strict confidentiality. And the only people that see it are our team of care providers. So it's a wonderful, wonderful tool in a way for our care providers to know what's going on with you and how they can best help you. So I just kind of want to put your mind at ease with that, knowing that it's a secure place and it's confidential.
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that because once again, we as women supporting each other and also too the confidentiality part is so important for us too, because sometimes it's really hard to come and talk about what's going on with us. And like you said in the beginning, you felt very alone. And there are a lot of women all over the world that are feeling that same way. And so what a great way to be able to connect and to provide I also realized, you see something, you were in Yahoo News just recently, weren't you? They did an article on you.
Well, we were. We have a yes. There's a lot. There's a lot going on. We have some huge partnerships, companies we're partnering with, and we have a continued relationship with Good Morning America. They reach out to us every 4 to 6 weeks. As a matter of fact, they just reached out again this week, and I put a whole list of names together for them for a project they're doing next week. But these companies reach out to us because we're out there. And yes, Yahoo News recently did an article. And basically, the topic of conversation was, what does your doctor say to you when you go in and you tell them you feel like you're in menopause? A lot of women feel like their doctors don't hear them. And we have a lot of women who say the doctors just say, take some Xanax, you're depressed. And so this was the topic of conversation with Yahoo News. We were featured in there about 2 weeks ago. But we have a very, very, very active collaboration with ABC News and Good Morning America. And it's very exciting. And we're partnering up with 3 other companies that you'll be hearing about very shortly.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome. I'm just so glad that we were able to have you on our very first podcast and that we get to be a part of this and support this. Are there any last words of wisdom that you would really like to impart or share with us or in our audience? And anything more you'd like to say?
But what I'd like to say is I can promise you I couldn't do this without anybody else. I couldn't have done this without Tina to start, and Tina and I cannot do this without our team of care providers. And Marti and Robin for spearheading this whole thing and taking it away. It's a wonderful tool in technology that can connect us out there, make our world even bigger, and help even that many more people. And it's a wonderful calling to be on. Our mission statement is to inspire women. What better calling than that? And we could not do without you. Seriously. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Tina, you always
Well,
yours in this space.
I would like to ditto everything that Gwen has said, and who remembers ditto, right? It's so in our age. My message to the world is that we are on this earth for joy and love. We are here for love and joy. And if you're experiencing anything other than love and joy, reach out to us and we will help support you because, we're not here for all I know we've been through things, but we are here to love you and to support you and help you on your journey towards joy.
Beautifully
Thank you.
said.
Beautifully said. Well said. Marti, do you have any last questions that you'd like to ask?
Not so much for questions, but just kind of coming back around to congratulating all of us for this first release of the Menowave Lounge podcast. When Robin and I first got together, we were both new care providers and we are just shooting ideas around. I was talking to Robin about the project for the cruises and some of the content that I will be sharing. And we started thinking about, we both resonated with this idea. And so we found out, Gwen and Tina, is that we really want to put the person, the heart, the face to a name behind who we are as care providers, who Gwen and Tina are as the founders of this group, because, it's such a big group and we hear about these words of like, well, experts and care providers. Oh yeah. Well, who are they? What are they trying to sell me? And it was very important to me to be able to offer something so that you could see the real side of it, because we are all of us going through this. I'm at the beginning, some of us are at the end, and we're all anywhere in between. And we're all here for a reason. And the more that we can put that face to a name and feel the heart behind what each and every one of us has to offer, as well as really get to feel from the women who do reach out to us and have that connection, I think is just so powerful and such a beautiful thing. So I'm very happy to be here and have the support of everyone. And I look forward to sharing with everyone in the group, as many care providers who have the time to come on and share who they are, so that you all can get a feel for who they are and how they might be able to teach you something or give you an idea of something you hadn't thought of. I'm an expert in the stress and anxiety, but I don't know much about nutrition. And so it's good for me to be able to have someone else to come in and refer that to.
Well, yes. I mean, that's a great way to wrap up what is coming up. We have our podcast is going to launch October 5th, the first one, which is this one. And then after that will be, I think, every other week. And we're going to have other care providers coming on talking about their expertise. We have Bonnie Rose, and that lady is amazing. And she is going to talk about all the chemicals that go into the products that we use and how it affects us and how it affects our menopause. And we're so excited to have her on the podcast. We also have one that talks about hot flashes, fatigue, sleep, and what?
Sleep.
And
did one.
sleep. Yeah,
Yes.
that was the other one, sleep. So every other week, we're going to have either really great topics or we'll have experts on. And we're just so excited to bring this to you. And we're looking forward to it growing and just being a really just a fun podcast. And hopefully we'll have always lots of great topics to talk about.
Oh,
So
sure.
thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Gwen, and thank you, Tina. I'm so blessed to be able to work with you guys and be a part of the care providers. And I'm a life coach that works with mindset, anxiety, and stress. And if you're trying to turn your life around, let's have a conversation. Oh, that's
Yep.
kind of it for.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Until next time. Namaste.
I
Couldn't do it without you.
Bye bye.
Thank you for joining us on this empowering journey through menopause in the Menowave Lounge. We hope you found our discussions insightful and comforting as we navigate this phase of life together. If you're looking to connect with one of our expert Menowave care providers for personalized advice and support, head over to our website at menowave.org. There, you'll find more information about our team of seasoned professionals, each dedicated to helping you get through this journey with confidence and grace. At menowave.org, you can also fill out a brief assessment to help us better understand your unique needs. Based on your responses, we'll match you with care providers who align perfectly with your individual requirements. Remember, you don't have to face menopause alone. Our team is here to provide the guidance and care you deserve. So take that step towards reclaiming your well-being and connect with a Menowave care provider today. Don't forget to watch the Menowave Lounge in the VIP Menopause group on Facebook for more advice and conversation. Together, we'll continue to break down barriers, share stories, and embrace the sometimes hard-to-find beauty of this transformative journey. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next episode of the Menowave Lounge, hot flashes and cool conversations.